made it there. And it's a big one for China because TyLoo, the last hope for China to have some home representation in the main arena, are in action next. They go head-to-head with an old foe, frankly. These two have met 8 times already in 2018. There's not much between them either. It's MVP.PK. Not much between them today on their so far showings, I would imagine, either from our 2 panel members. Duncan, do you think that both shown us the good and the bad of what they're both capable of?
Yeah, but I would say on the TyLoo side, more of the good. Like, they really could have been through to the winners' match. Obviously, Virtus.Pro actually won the winners' match, so who knows where TyLoo could have been. They could have already had that top 4 slot locked up. I do expect them to win this match, despite, as he's saying, you know, inter-regional matchup is close in that sense. They obviously know each other very well.
Yeah.
That's another factor where you wonder if the whole standing thing will go against TyLoo. That could certainly be the case, but I think both have had their flaws on display, but also some of the upside, yeah.
Yeah, and that is, as we said earlier, that they've played each other an awful lot. And the last 5 series, TyLoo won the previous 3, but the last 2 have both gone to MVP, which they'll go into this with confidence.
Yeah, I mean, MVP is a team that from a theoretical standpoint, really understands Counter-Strike well. They have everything nailed down in terms of knowing what to do and when. It's just the execution that can be flowing at times with cost some rounds here and there. And I feel like TyLoo already is a couple steps ahead in terms of experiencing and playing Counter-Strike at this kind of level that they need to be able to succeed. So just judging from what we've seen so far, I feel like, you know, like Duncan was saying, TyLoo, I kind of want to say TyLoo were supposed to be in that winner's game.
Yeah.
They had that in their hands, but they just dropped the ball, unfortunately. So, you know, should they be able to just continue without having those moments of lapse, I feel like they have the upper hand here.
Yeah, it's a worry, isn't it? Because teams sometimes like that kind of come out for the next one all kind of depressed and like, should have been in the semi-finals.
Yeah,
we could have beaten Heroic. We could have been in the top 4.
Because,
you know,
like, the amount of teams that have an excuse like, oh, it was a 14-14 game, like, I don't care, you weren't winning in that scenario. You know, you have to close the game. But I do feel for TyLoo because, remember, they were 9-0 on, like, the harder side of Cash. Then they were 15-11. Then it was over. So it's like they didn't just blow one shot. They blew many chances. And sure, Virtus.Pro absolutely played their way into the game, but a lot of them were TyLoo mistakes. Like, you could really just see where they didn't understand where a Virtus.Pro player was, or they mistimed the move they made. So on the upside, if you want to look at it positively, maybe they tuned some of that up. Maybe they've fixed some of that coming into this game. Then again, though, when you get matches like this where teams have played a lot, you tend to just wipe the slate clean, and the whole factor of that matchup becomes the whole game of what happened last time and what did they do and then what do we try to do and what will they think we'll do. So I think this one could actually go pretty deep, even though people aren't expecting much from MVP. As you say, this could be a 3-mapper.
Yeah, they match up well. Matt Vito's are incoming. What are we looking for
I mean, we've seen them play before, and like you said last time, they went on overtime on maps like Inferno and Train, I believe it was. So, well, overpass and nuke are out the window straight away there. So, I mean, it's really hard. They've played a wide variety of maps together, these teams.
Yeah, and Inferno was the obvious pick, wasn't it, Duncan, for MVP?
Yes. I mean, as we saw it banned by Virtus.Pro before, Train ban here, not really that surprising. Didn't work out very well. MVP's actually half decent on that map. At the moment in this tournament, no one wants to play Dust 2. Apparently just no one likes it. It's bizarre because you'd think some of the underdogs might gamble on it, but they often end up being the team banning it because it often gets left till second rotation. So not a surprise that Cash is the third. We know TyLoo plays it. I mean, obviously they were doing very well at the one point in time. MVP also plays it. I know from the days when they had Rambo coaching them. So I think actually, if you look at the maps, if you TyLoo, you're very happy with the way this has come out.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it kind of favors both teams. I think they're very even in terms of these maps. So both teams getting maps that they specifically like, and then Cash is one that both are fine for. Yes. So in that terms, it should be this could easily go 3 maps.
Natu means that both teams like the maps. He's not some sort of mad person promoting betting where it's like, actually, both teams are favourites, so bet on either side. I make the vig, you know.
Yeah, that'd be quite weird, wouldn't it? Yeah, both are favourites, exactly the same price, exactly the same time. Who are the standout players for you in the first matches that these two play? So start with TyLoo first.
Yes. For TyLoo, I actually like Glow. I think he's a pretty good player. Like, he's an all-round player. You even see he's like a guy who's doing secondary AWPing in the team. Pretty decent clutch player. Obviously, another one of the experienced players that you expect to be very good. For TyLoo, I think I would probably pick somebody. Because first of all, that style they have where on T-side they just burst onto sites, he's clearly like a high sensitivity player, but as a result, anyone who's an old school Quake player knows this. If you have the crosshair near them and you have the high sensitivity like that, the flick's it instant basically. So he has really nice flick aim. It's really satisfying to watch when he's on his game. So for me, he does a lot for that team, and obviously with the standing, he has to kind of be one of the people carrying the load.
Okay, prediction time. Natu.
Well, I think TyLoo's going to take this. due to the factors I was saying before, I feel like, you know, having seen them play here, if they can nail down those mid and late round situations, the mistakes they were doing, where obviously the communication is a bit of an issue for them, but if they can nail those down, you know, remember to use those flashes and the mollies in those nitty-gritty situations, and they shouldn't have it, because they, fundamentally speaking, I feel like they're the better team.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go TyLoo as well. I actually think because of the map veto, they can do a 2-0 this one. It shouldn't be the 3-map series because it's not the obvious one for the other team that they should win on. So I think they have more skill. It's interesting, the history, but in this particular instance, I think coming in terms of form, you have to favour TyLoo.
Okay. All right, our expert panel have decided that TyLoo have the advantage here, despite the fact that these two play in this region an awful lot and will absolutely know what each other's got. Let's head to our commentary team for our final series of the night. Enjoy.
Thank you, gentlemen. It looks like MVP are going to be starting on the CT side of Mirage, which will be the first map of this best of 3. You fancy a TyLoo 2-0?
Yeah, I just noticed that my name takes up like this much of the screen, and your name takes like almost all of it. So
proportion to our head stack.
That is that's unfair. I want a bigger font size.
You need a bigger head. And
we've got MVP on Mirage on the CT side, and they've opted to get the typical full Kevlar, kit smoke, and TyLoo, typical B rush it would seem, or B contact, as they are just walking in slowly but surely. They're sending the new man first, standing first.
AO technology, that's what I'm going to call him.
He did not have the best start with TyLoo. So it almost feels like they're playing with just 4 men at the moment. But let's see if they can take this bomb sites. Good response from MVP, but they got to hit the shots.
No kills just yet. As I say, that AO technology gets the first one. 4-on-4 as the CT start to lose more numbers, but it traces back and forth. The problem is planted on default. Now Ben10 is the last one to fall. Zeph doing some work there. 3 players surviving for MVP. We just look at these players who are alive. Okay, 2 of them are going to get the cheap helmet, so they should have some nice guns in the round to come. They know that TyLoo are going to probably be buying on round number 3, so we may see rifles favored in this buy, where they can be. Good start for MVP. Me personally, I think this is going to be a 2-1. I'm not going to pick a team. Obviously, you would slightly favor TyLoo, but I don't know. I mean, Mr. AO, he's been a problem in the last match. He wasn't really pulling his weight in some of those maps, so maybe that is something that MVP can abuse. AZO. I won't call him AO technology all day.
Yeah, I just think the mechanical advantage on TyLoo is pretty strong. Pretty momentum based. I'm going to be really looking forward to seeing some of the like as Thorin was talking about on the desk, some of that flick aim. It is super reminiscent of old school Quake players. I absolutely resonate with that statement from him. So you don't see it. You don't really see it in the West anymore. And that's the point we can go into in a moment as the action's about to kick off here. Obviously, TyLoo aren't really holding on too much. Maybe it actually would have been a good spot to reminisce as the Glocks are annihilated. Although that said, Ben10 does get a single kill. And it's easier to get punished. So
interestingly, both these teams were talking to each other in English in the chat. Some top bants going on before the match started. Can TyLoo get a second kill out of this? Ben10 is well equipped for it with an MP7 and the high explosive grenade. 2 players per site, so perhaps it's an opportunity to even plant the bomb. They would need to apply some pressure here, though. And Ben10's at a very long range, but he can't. Obviously, he would be exposed to connector if he did try to go towards CT. Anyway, here we are. Here is the buy for TyLoo. The AKs are coming out. A few players need to rebuy for MVP, so there is a round to be seized here for the Chinese team.
Yes, these AKs. It's going to be fun to see what they decide to do with them. Now, no one's rushing up AP, I don't think, in this round just yet. So, and 3 players in mid straight away for MVP. A fast mid presence, but can they win the battle? The lineup is very nice. And Zeph and Shine able to get the frags with the spray. And nice defense there from Mini as well. He just holding it down, just in the open, winning the aim battles with a FAMAS. So the AKs did not do really all that much. So that's a very fast round.
That was brief. That action in mid was like an ID parade where everyone's guilty. 3-0 for MVP. TyLoo on the pistols. That was an abrupt start to the buy round for both these sides. Solo's got a UMP. He is in a position to make some money. Got the safer smoke thrown into the ramp position. Not exposed as he throws it. 3 players for TyLoo towards the A site. 4 deagles on these 5 players. Looking for the meat shots, but there is a meat ball thrown towards the ramp, which most certainly won't help. We'll see if Solo can make some money in this round. Zeph keeping an eye on Connector from the short position, and Glow's on the balcony of B. Once the smoke there dissipates, oh, they've replenished it, so they'll be confident in that position for a time. But once these numbers start to stream in for TyLoo, I say that, but the bomb is still in T-spawn, and they are well positioned to split the sites. But without the bomb, it is they're limiting how much money they can really make in this round. Someone needs to go and get it, and Bentet's going to do that.
I'm wondering whether one of the issues for TyLoo in this matchup could be the lack of diversity strategically. We know that they like to have this very explosive, bursty style, which is actually reminiscent of the addition of G2 that had Shocks and Scream on it in 2016. And you know, they had this like really fast pace. They focus on the trade game, sticking together, using the individual skill, and having some sort of very good tactics to go with it. But the actual strategy is quite simplistic. And so far, wow, okay, it's some real damage being done here. Bomb plant can actually be had. We're going to see AZO able to get that one. It's somebody with him on the deagle. Guns to be collected. Another shot there. AZO there with the headshot. Now he's going to get 2 more. He won't, but that's 3 kills in a bomb plant. That's actually beautiful there for TyLoo.
I was wondering how far TyLoo would get in this round, because they had such little time left when they started to finally poke the A bomb site, and I thought they really they may need to kill 2 players in one position in order to plant the bomb. So I did wonder. I mean, at that point, it's a 3 versus 5. So to get into this position is quite something from TyLoo. Some nice headshots certainly helped. But I think if you ran that situation 20 times, only very few they get the bomb down after that 3 versus 5. But here we are. They get the bonus money. Execute on the AWP, as is Solo. Execute making his way over. Cheeky jump peek, see if anybody's there. And again, you saw he jump peeked as he made his way over to the left-hand side, but there are some pre-aims you can do jumping on the cart in the middle of those boxes. So you can get off a fast shot if an angle is being held there.
I do wonder if his name is like, if it's accurate, but he like uses the X because it's like a little crosshair or something. I wonder or something. I don't know. I don't know. If you know, tweet me. Tell me. Let me know. Zeph looking to poke in over the smoke there. And TyLoo waiting out those connector smokes. And throwing a forward smoke of their own. So obviously you can see the battle of connector playing out there through utility. And TyLoo really waiting out these smokes. 50 seconds to go. He's just sitting in the middle, still waiting for the connector smoke to dissipate. Still players occupying that position. And Molotov's there. The creep from Bentet as he scopes around. The AWP is to cover there as well from Execute. Let's see if they can find anything. The D-Law is backing away. Oh, turning around at just the wrong moment. And they're lining up now and getting sandwiched in between Catwalk and Connector. That is not a good look there for TyLoo. Perhaps a little bit too timid in some of these situations. And MVP will take full advantage with their patient play. AZO, the stand-in, the last man alive, and he will not get any additional damage as MVP take their 5th round.
Nothing yet for TyLoo. Nothing but maximum loss bonus. 3,400 every round. That is your reward for losing, but I'm sure they would like to win. Now, MVP still have some money to make. This is a round where TyLoo can at the very least keep them honest, but again, 5-0, they need to start winning some rounds here. Very deliberate approach to A here from TyLoo. Execute and DD on the ramp, and AZO is in Palace, holding off angle in case there's a push for the time being. Seems down to somebody in Bentet to get ready for a split of the bomb site. There were 3 smokes in mid, now there's just 1. Apps have been taken over by the Korean team. But there is a problem for the T's to deal with in connector. You can see Minizeta there in a very good position to avoid getting flashbanged. 1 minute 10. 3 TyLoo players biding their time, maybe waiting for a peek. So it's down to Bentet and somebody really to get something going here.
Yeah, this is a problem as well. Solo on this angle with the AWP. You do not want to dry peek this. You do not want to dry peek this. Oh, he whips the shot, goes down through the box. Speedy gets the frag and somebody with the kills in connector. I thought connector would be a big problem for them, but they open up the entire map, and this looks like it's an instant save for Shine and Glow. Shine and Glow.
Glow and Shine. Sounds like a face mask.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how this round looks very similar to the last one. So the only difference really was that TyLoo set up for an A split. The last round, MVP, they weren't really pressuring mid very much, but they had 2 guys in connector. They were happy to sit in between the smokes. And in the previous round where we saw TyLoo going for that B split, they just got caught off guard because there's too many angles to worry about, and they didn't clear anything, actually. They didn't really take connector. And that's, I think, the missing piece in that round previously. You want to force the CTs out of connector. Maybe you create a situation where you go 3 versus 4 or 4 versus 4, like something like that. And that's good for you. That's actually a good situation for you, but they were too timid in that previous round. So here, it's a much more simple A-split play, and it works out really well. But the one key factor as well we have to remember is the whiffed AWP shot from Ticket Booth. I think TyLoo were lucky there to get away without dying to that AWP.
Solo making a charge for the connector position, but again, TyLoo, and you spoke about fast plays, Dan, and look at them. They are all over the place. They've been launched from cannons, and they are spread across the A site. Very quickly into jungle position. CT, this might be a save already. They've got jungle smoked off. They've got CT. Sign is going for a long flank to T-spawn. But at this point, do you just hold on to what you have? In the hole, they don't have a lot, and they don't really have any position. You can't take from connector and T-spawn, and Sign's been lost as well, so I think they could try and stronghold B-apps for the time being.
The weird thing, though, is that I don't know if there's an explanation that makes sense for this, but Solo with the AWP, he went straight into mids and left 0 people on A at the very start of the round. Even if you're kind of being aggressive in middle, like you still want to have someone on A, right? Even if you rotate him back and you swap out that guy with Solo afterwards, you still want someone on A. so the T's can't just walk in because let's say you have a guy on A and he peeks out, he takes some shots, he peeks back in. Now you have the T's who have to they have to pull grenades out. They have to try to flush him out. They can't just run forwards because if he's able to get a good peek whilst they're running forwards into his crosshairs, then he's going to get a kill. So it slows down the push by him having presence, by someone having presence there. There was no presence on the A side at the start of the round. Very strange.
Saving 3 weapons. They have a goodbye for this round MVP. Glow will be alone in the B bomb site for the time being, and somebody's starting to lurk, although he is focused on the underpass position. So a more traditional approach for TyLoo, which is cool because MVP never know what's around the corner at the beginning of one of these rounds. So it will be a take of the mid position from upper and lower. Execute lining up the pop flash for the connector position. That will allow somebody to peek from underpass and then throw his smoke towards connector. It's a variation of what you often see from North and many other teams from Europe. Now we have 4 TyLoo players making their way to A, and somebody inside connector. He's got to be afraid of somebody potentially of a person on short B, but no one is there. Glow's deep in B on his own, and maybe that means there'll be a good defense of A here with 4 CTs in situ.
Solo with the first kill, but the trade is inevitable in that position. Once again, running a very similar split as to the previous successful one for TyLoo, and it's Was looking good on the entry, but now Shine in the corner will be taken down. And now it's up to Glow. AK versus 2. Don't know where he is, and there is a plant going on at the moment, so, well, looks like DD's going to deal with him. So 3 rounds back-to-back there for TyLoo. They have really put MVP in a predicament. Their money's gone.
MVP had 4 players on the A bomb site when that push came in, and they were still unable to hold, which is a problem. If you've got 4 on A and you can't hold A, then how are you going to accrue more rounds in this half? That is a question that MVP needs to answer. Something will have to change. Down to the pistols. All AKs and the AWP for TyLoo, so we'll see how they do the anti-eco. DD's normally the champion of the anti-eco round, but he'll be in Palace for the time being. Execurate keeping an eye on the B apps. If he has a good spawn, well, for many AWPers, if they have a good spawn, they will make a play to peek this area. They can catch CTs jumping on the box, which is why you used to see CTs go for this boost when they wanted to make a fast play, because it was quicker and less exposed than getting on the box. See how quietly they do that. Now, if TyLoo do have a spawn, then, well, I just explained it all for you. But that's a perfectly placed Molotov. You may even hear the clipping, I'm not sure. But now we can buy some time. But what information do TyLoo have? They have a minute on the clock. They need to identify what the setup might be of MVP and then play against that.
Back to the A split. We have the full rotation from TyLoo. And there's not really enough pistols in place to prevent a bomb plant. And there's a kit on Mini Zeta, sure, but at the same time, they only have pistols and 1 Kevlar. So this is a great call from TyLoo, and they will have success. They're looking to get 4 rounds on the board pretty quickly. Looking to put a stop to the shenanigans of MVP. He's looking for those pistoling players. He's hungry, and his hunger will not be sated because they are far away. And it would definitely bode well for MVP to just look at holding on to CZs that they have. They can set up a bunch of traps around the map if they want, but this doesn't make much sense to try to run at TyLoo. Like that. I mean, he did go full auto for full 30 bullets. Like, you don't expect to get any frags there. I don't know if it's really necessary to just run and try to take the longest range possible against AK-47s. Why not set up 2 players in the shop? Why not set up 2 players in the apartments? Why make it so easy for them? he just gets this whole mouse one and just get everyone. I just don't think that you need. I think that you need to.
I did say DD was the eco god.
Yeah, I just think you need to put more effort into those spots. You know.
Yeah. Don't give up edges unnecessarily. Yeah. MVP this time will start with 3 people in the A bomb site, and maybe TyLoo will condition them to put the numbers over here through the flame. Zeph will find Execurate anyway. That's a very important kill to kick things off, and somebody's trying to raise the pace of this round now, pull up some advantages for TyLoo after that early pick.
Just sort of hear him. Is he turning his attention towards the vents of window now, of the ladder room, that is? It looks like he must be. So somebody's very likely dead here. If he goes to the peak, oh, I don't know. I don't know, actually. Oh, Soda's not spotting that. I was wondering if they heard somebody just make the quick run up into the ladder room. And it seems as though somebody is maybe undetected, although it seems like they do actually know that the position's compromised, as we see Solo sort of going for a safe peek onto it. And very passive positions here from MVP, but that's fine. They have the 5v4. That's actually, you know, that makes it okay. And TyLoo looking like they want to set up onto this B-bomb site, and MVP just holding for now.
Ever so quiet until TyLoo decide to take a duel. Molotovs towards the van. Solo has a clue. Flashbang won't affect him, but he will have some effects onto Azio. Somebody trying to get something done, but he can't. Running out of numbers now, leaving it to DD with 22 HP, and they'll only be good for the 1 frag in that round, TyLoo. Very crucial for MVP moving forward.
Yeah, you can see there you know, they had 4 players remaining, and MVP are sort of they're not really being, you know, punished for being very passive in any sense, and because TyLoo is just walking into the bomb sites, we're not seeing a lot of utility utilized to try to push them out of position. And you know, that's one of the basics of Counter-Strike. You know, you want to create spots where you're forcing CTs to rotate, and then you abuse those rotations. That's like a very good basic, and that's why pressure is so important. Pressure creates that spot.
Does he go back? He knows he can't go back, but is he greedy? No, he picks a good time. No one's there, and he might be afraid of somebody trying to make it towards a chair position, which is why he eventually falls back into a safer angle. Excurrent asking questions through the smoke, but indeed, Solo is in a better angle now. Meanwhile, Sign is making inroads towards the apartments. Glow is jump peeking, and Sign may move further forward. Zeph around the connector position for the time being. And TyLoo tried to deny vision. Ooh. Plays on short. So what are they going for here? DD will get picked off, and Solo tries to create some space for himself with the smoke grenade. He's jumped over his head. Bentet's supposed to do all kinds of 180s. Sign still into the apartment, so that might have a part to play, or maybe it won't because the bomb's going towards A.
Yeah, it doesn't look like MVP have much firepower to stop this. Just Mini Zeta by the ticket booth, and he's going to be in a woeful situation. Just the Molotov there to try to prevent a bomb plant, but the bomb will go down safely. And now it's a question of how do they do this? They have one smoke grenade. Smoke grenades are really useful in these retakes just because, you know, you can shut down the pit position, you can shut down the palace position, and then you force the Ts to have to push through those smokes, and that's very disadvantageous for them. But we see that somebody has hold of the window area as well, and they catch them backing away. So the information's there now for TyLoo that they're backing away. Will there be any hunting? Because the money really sucks for MVP. 1 or 2 kills would go a very long way for TyLoo, but it doesn't look as though they're in position to get them.
Pop, pop, round number 5 for TyLoo. Only 3 of the plays have been really doing the fragging for TyLoo so far. You see Excurrent still on the 1 kill and Bentet on 2, which is unlike him, especially 11 rounds in. But they have 5 of the last 6 rounds, so as long as they are winning the rounds, it's not that big a deal. MVP still have a bye though. Solo gone from an AWP to an MP7. But maybe that's what he needs to take this round over the line. Only time will tell. Molotov to stop a peek from the connector position. And there are 4 players now. Top mid for TyLoo. Are we looking at some kind of fast B split perhaps? There is a second smoke grenade that you often see, which would suggest that. Smoke in the window as well, but that might be a CT smoke. I'm not sure. Either way, TyLoo are respecting it for the time being. Having a look in connector, seeing what's going on. Somebody lurking in B-apps, and Glow is behind the smoke grenade for the time being in B-apps. Again, he's been entrusted with B on his own. And Zeph is going to have a lot of pain coming his way. No flashbang, but oh my god.
Oh,
Sign
wow.
is there to clean things up, and I don't even know. Bentet, he has a flashbang. He's in connector. Even though Didi got a kill in the first place, Bentet could have thrown the flash for him, but he chooses to peek with the bomb and no flash. Whether he gets a kill or not isn't the point. Now Bentet is alone. The bomb's on short. And again, just a 1 kill here for TyLoo.
They looked a little bit too confused by that. It seemed as though it seems like no one, usually when you're pushing positions, you sort of intrinsically understand, okay, the guy who's in front, he checks this. That means that I'm having to check this. And so if that guy dies, then you know that you then inherit that job. But you have to, you have to clear as a team, and it seems as though they got really just confused because there's definitely enough time for somebody to react there. So that's really a shame for TyLoo, because now look at MVP. They're in a great position to take control of the game once again and really punish TyLoo for that mistake. And we get a push into pit, perhaps. Maybe the... okay, they're just going to be holding this position, somewhat reminiscent of the SK setup that you often remind us of, Mr. James. And
hello.
4 men on A here for MVP. They're reading this correctly.
Somebody does not have the range to take that engagement with a Mach 10. Some careful peeking from AZO. The problem with getting on that plant pot is you always make a sound when you get off it, but if you've got a kill, it doesn't matter. Somebody still in the connector position with the MAC-10. Maybe wants to make a play towards the jungle or pick somebody off who is around the stairs. Meanwhile, BenTeT will get the drop the bomb in connector. So MVP have the information now, but Glow is still not rotating. There is time for TyLoo to make a plan B. Now there's no info towards the mid position. DD is heard, but surely they will hear him running away as well. Now we watch the CT radar. Sign hears that information. Solo now starting to, well, look towards CT, but I mean, Sign heard him running away. He could have peeked the ramp. He didn't do that. He's moved back to Sandwich, and now Solo's rotated towards B. So it will be 2 players. I think it could have easily been a third. It might be a late rotation from Zeph towards B bomb side, but can these 2 players hold against the 3 of TyLoo? 12 seconds to get this bomb down. He knows exactly where it's being planted, but he's aiming too high. The knife is through, but he has to go back to the AK-47, reload it, and he might be heard by Xcuret. Is he aware of this? Tracking his teammate in the meantime, and now DD is alone. But where is he coming from? By the window, Glow will have the angle, and there is the round for MVP.
8 rounds on the board for them now, and TyLoo having to settle with 5 for the time being. The bomb plant will help to boost their economy, but it's not in good shape. Doesn't really look like they can be good for a buy. So they've got a decision to make. Do they force it up and buy twice, or do they save once and have a proper buy in the next round? Looks like they're going to force it up. And interestingly, you know, they don't have much in the way of loss bonus at this point. So even if they lose a round and get a bomb plant, their next buy is also going to be a bit awful. But I think it's much more acceptable on the T side. And they're going to go for a fast play into the B bomb site. We have everyone ready to defend this from MVP. They have 3 players on B already.
Here comes the push, out the window they go. More Molotovs, completely blinded somebody. Maybe a late flashbang, not sure from what team. Bomb on the floor now, and the CT's reposition. This is a shooting gallery. TyLoo getting framed 1 by 1.
Wow, there's a lot of spots here where, you know, TyLoo put themselves in positions where they have to shoot their ways out, and it's really difficult. Like, that's like the worst spot to have to do it, and the quick B rush just does not pan out there. Very telegraphed with the smoke at the end, and also, you know, as they were sort of talking about on the desk, you know, these are 2 teams that know each other very well, and TyLoo's style of play, you know, their pace can be fairly predictable. So MVP in a great position. And we're going to the last round with a mid push here from MVP, looking to finish things off with a bang in the first half as they counter everyone. The spray from China is fantastic. Somebody gets a consolation frag, but it's a 2v4 for TyLoo now.
MiniZeta on CT can see these players coming out of T ramp, and the CTs are coming to wipe them out and offer a crossfire, offer more support for their teammates. Cannot make it to the side, can Xcuret, and that leaves AZO alone as the Desert Eagle. Last one to stand, last one to fall. 10-5 in favor of MVP. I feel like we could have seen a number of different scorelines here, but ultimately it will be MVP making double figures. Do you think they'll be happy with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think.
Oh yes.
I think, you know, we look at MVP as a more tactical team as well, a more strategic team, and so moving on to the T side of Mirage, you would want to actually give them an edge. I would say, it's the firepower difference, which, you know, would. At least that's how I perceive things. Like, you look at TyLoo and say, okay, well, they have way more firepower. But the thing is, you have to place it well. And they really struggled on that T side to actually find good spots and make good calls in the mid-round. And now they have to, really must win this pistol round. They've got to find a way to quickly equalize and get a good economy on the CT side. And there's already a spot here in the apps. They're playing a retake, so I like this. Safe and steady CT setup from TyLoo.
3 players moving through mid. AZO sees 1, but he should hear some footsteps. You see the harassment from the Glock as Sign gets into a position. That may come into play later on. Not going to show the cards he's playing just yet. So AZO will not be aware of that. And we have somebody having a look through B-Apps, and, well, there's some information for him, leaving him with 8 HP. But again, he's the only person showing on the B bomb site, so it seems to be a bait set up from TyLoo to push the MVP into a stack. But MVP aren't taking the bait just yet. That said, MiniZeta is the closest man towards A, and he's in T-spawn, although he's starting to move forward with Solo. So MVP are using the time on the clock to go on a fact-finding mission. They've seen one towards A. And again, I think Red Eye said that these two teams have played 8 times this year alone. And they may be used to this kind of thing. Well, there we go. Azio's got some information, but now he's dead. Somebody's starting to move away from the B-bomb site, but Sign is causing more problems. Now we can hold an angle towards B-bomb site, going through the crawl space. Very brazen of him. And the bomb is eventually going there, but Execute, I think, has been boosted on default. Will they check for this? He's playing it slow, and he gets both frags. 25 seconds now, and the last 2 Ts have to come in from Market.
This is really rough. TyLoo can absolutely play the time here. They do not have to offer themselves up for fights. They can force the Ts to go deep. They've got to go deep for the bomb. They don't have to fight at all. And this is scary. They both have no health. Do not face. Do not fight. Mini Zeta is going to be moving forwards here, looking for the frags. And they'll be buying time, thank God. Mini Zeta will get himself 1 frag of the 2 remaining. And that was pretty scary. I know that TyLoo likes to peek, James. So I was very afraid there.
That was unfortunate for MVP. I feel like they were playing that pistol quite well, but the boost... I mean, both teams, in fairness, are playing it quite well. 3 players in B, only showing 1 of the players continuously. And that was from at the beginning of the round and at the end of the round. They kept their discipline, kept their patience. But it's TyLoo who come out on top, and they have the rifles coming out for the most part. BenTeT and Azio with loads of grenades and 2 UMPs. DD will keep an eye on things in the middle position. Glow and Zeph up top mid, and there are 2 players in B-App, so we may see a take of the middle area with these pistols. But how far can MVP get with 1 flashbang, 1 smoke grenade, and these pistols?
They creep, they creep. Ooh, okay, TyLoo announces his presence in B apartments. TyLoo don't have to do anything too special. Shiny is going to be pushed back and away. And TyLoo is still just holding to the 3-2 setup, which is good. It's important to not get too cocky, too confident peeking middle, because if there's a deagle out, they can just one-shot you. Instead, you can force the deagles into really bad engagements where it's very hard to get a one-shot from a deagle. And that is any spot where you're forcing the deagle to run into you. If you're moving into a spot where a deagle can hold or jiggle an angle, that's a much more favorable spot for the deagle. See, that's a good jiggle spot for the deagle, so DD doesn't really want to be taking that fight. I'm going to force them through the choke points here. Ooh. And they're going to run in.
1 for 1. Okay, advantages, but can they continue to trade? Mini Zeta's in a perfect place at a perfect time, and both these players are rotating from the B bomb site. They've killed 3 players, and the bomb plant is almost guaranteed. Solo going inside triple. They've got 2 rifles. They've got a flashbang MVP, and they've got 1 player in connector. Sign could be the person to engage first if they know where they're coming from, but they don't seem to. Solo and CT as well. Oh, that's going to make things harder for the Ts now, as they both have Kevlar, but they're not getting the frags here. It's the pistoling player who is left in this 1 versus 2. He could be Palace, he could be Ramp, he could be on the CT ramp, and it is the last of those 3 things. 10-second defuse coming in. No peek just yet. Is he going to peek at all, Solo? Are you going to have a look? Got to go for the planter first, I think.
Ooh. That's...
Diffuser, rather.
That's quite a save, honestly. Like, if you look at that, they're like both crawling through the vents. The bomb is down. It's a 3v2, and there's better weaponry basically on MVP. And they've got Kevlar and helmets. It's like, on paper, you're really thinking that MVP win that round so many times. I don't know how TyLoo managed to make that work. That's quite the save, though, and I mean, it did come at quite a great cost. And honestly, I'm surprised that MVP didn't consider just going for a force buy in his follow-up rounds to try to really knock off TyLoo's economy. Oh my God! How is Execute alive? Barrage of grenades all over the place. And speaking of which, Glocks will keep falling, and so will MVP. So Eco round done and dusted.
That's a good round.
Yeah.
Another 2 kills. That's a really good round. A good combination of rounds from MVP. Sign has paused tactical pause for MVP. And this is a good time to discuss, okay guys, we have done, yes, a tactical pause, yeah. So they killed 3 people round 2, they killed 2 people round 3. This is a big opportunity for them to have a quick chat. They have not bought a single thing just yet. Okay, Bentet stats. Whose turn is it? Joined TyLoo in March of 2017 when he replaced Yanzhang attacker Sheng. He can speak English, Indonesian, and a little Chinese.
Wow. That's impressive.
That's cool. I'm going to Indonesia on Tuesday.
It's always impressive to any person that's born in England to
speak another language.
To speak any
and
language.
Not just be crap at life.
Yeah, and even to speak your own language very well, because I know a lot of people that can't speak their own language. Anyway, moving forward from that. Excurrent. I do wonder if that's a proper pronunciation. I know like X is like a sh.
It is.
As a sh
sound.
I
think it is.
Okay. It's hard to know sometimes what they're going for. I'm pretty sure that X is a sh kind of a sound.
It's not going to be screw. That would be.
Yeah, that'd be really weird.
Quite problematic.
Yeah. Well, double orbs here for TyLoo. That's going to be fun to see. Azio is one of the orbs, one of the new men, and he has been having a bit of a harder time. I definitely think there is. You can definitely see the skill difference between him and the main TyLoo members, which is fine. He's helping him out by standing in. Look at how MVP are biding their time here, just sitting in the apartments. It does seem like they want to go for a... I mean, they are holding passively on mid and on A as well, so it would seem like they're trying to really bait an information play and punish it, but it's not going to be coming, it would seem. So we'll see some grenades. Will this be sort of just like a double fake of some description, or will they go with this?
Looks like a wall of smoke around the pillars. There is the wall. You could bounce the flash out the window, just as they do, which is really cool. If anyone's on the balcony, they are blind. But I think they're delaying for a push for a B split, so most suggesting it's a fake, but it's not, and maybe the frag on short will allow them to realize that. But he needs to get into the B bomb site. They're taking too long, I would say. And somebody now able to hold the defense. They should be pushing at the same time, but they still are pushing from the balcony. I do wonder why this timing is so off. I don't know if there was a defensive grenade that slowed them down or something, but I feel like the two players who were in the mid position, they got to pick on somebody around or through connector, but then they didn't start to push the B bomb site. There are people defending B. If you're pushing from apps and from short at the same time, then they're very compromised in where they can stand to defend, which is the power of the push. But it didn't come in, and I think that was an opportunity lost for MVP.
Yeah, they set it up really nicely. It's cool. We've seen Shine stand in the corner on the boost a few times now, and he actually got a kill from it in that previous round. But anyways, UMP's AKs here for MVP as they start to challenge into the A bomb site. Nice first flick from Azio. DD only able to get one, so more pressure on Azio to prevent a bomb plant or get additional kills. But it is a 4v3, so he can... It's completely fine to give up the bomb plant. It's completely fine. Just keep your money in good shape. And, ooh, Bentet going to just dive into his doom there. There was no rush as well for Bentet.
He's in a great position. Solo in the mid area. He was hiding in the underpass. And he will be a big problem in defusing this bomb. Smoke is down for the time being, and even his presence is a danger. They need to eliminate him, and maybe they'll get an opportunity soon with Excurate holding the angle. The smoke is still up. They're just touching the bomber. Now Glow can run distraction. He'll be traded, but Excurate is there at close range. He had to deliver that kill. He did, and that is round number 10 for TyLoo.
There's quite a cool little detail there. We saw, I think it was Solo with the UMP. There was an AK in between him and between Glow, and he just shot it. He shot it into the corner of the bomb site, so Glow didn't have to run to pick it up, and he could just press the use key on it. But indeed, 10-10 is the scoreline now. TyLoo looking pretty good. That could have been a little bit sketchy towards the end there. I mean, we saw AZ just sort of like slow peeking the Tetris position with an AWP and Excurate on connector with an AWP close range as well. So could have gone wrong, but it went right. And we got a faster pace coming in from MVP as they challenge middle. Connector is going to be a bit complicated here as Zeph tries to push forwards. Denied, and there's a smoke. The door's been shut in his face.
Yeah, that's a huge frag for TyLoo. 5 versus 3. That gives them really good control. 4 smokes around connector and jungle. 2 have gone now. Glow through the smoke around Tetris, but he's been spotted. Meanwhile, Solo's got the bomb in B apps. So we've got 2 players trying to make something happen for MVP. Now Solo's made his way towards the underpass. DD's been picked off, but there's still a man disadvantage here for MVP. They've got 0 grenades. They can't flash peek anything. And they're both holding angles.
Yeah. There's a world here where you almost want Solo to just try to push into B. Just try to slow walk it into B and just try to win the 1v1. Because there's been so much attention drawn to the A-bomb site, rotation is towards that site. So if he wins the 1v1, the round gets really weird, really interesting. But right now, as he's not doing too much, he's trying to rejoin with his comrades. Let's see if that's going to be a more effective way to solve this position. Because TyLoo, they're playing a spot where they're not giving anything away, and there's no smoke grenades. There's 2 AWPs, and there's no way to smoke them off of these angles. So this is, how can you plant? Oh, the headshot position. Oh, you whip the shot, you get punished. Wow, they're making it work, actually.
But they're running out of time. They've got to plant the bomb. Does Glow realize? He's got 10 seconds. Somebody was still on short. Oh, Extra could make a hero play here. The CZ, that could be enough to get both of these kills. Dancing around, triple, but he can't land the bullet Glow. And it will be Excurate to save the day. Target selection got there in the end. Expensive round for TyLoo, but both AWPs make it into round number 22. And MVP are coming up short time and time again. They haven't won a single round in this half. This is 6 rounds in a row. Sorry, this is 10 rounds in a row for TyLoo. No, it's not. It's 6 rounds in a row. Hello. I'm just reading the colors.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job now. They're stabilizing. Well, actually, I mean, I say that they're not really. I actually wouldn't call it stabilizing. A lot of these rounds are very close, and so their money's not in a great position to secure them should they lose a round. MVP have them in a good position, to ruin the economy straight away, but they have to get the W. Oh, Excurate will make his play with the AWP. Oh, he spotted a shoe. He saw some laces. But Zeph will be teasing. And Excurate can just sit here. He's got his teammate holding top mid, so he can sit here all day as far as he's concerned. Oh, wow. He's going to give up on the angle. And that could be good timing here because DD might need some assistance here for top mid. And indeed, Excurate will give the assistance. They're going to take his attention. Now DD can strike. Beautiful setup. The 1-2 punch. And it's a 5v3 for TyLoo.
That adjustment turns into a monstrous bait for the CT side, and there's more trouble here for MVP. The bomb has been compromised. It is deep in the B bomb site, and MVP are all but that. 2 versus 5. Smoked off from the apartment, being flanked by Excurate. Goes from bad to worse. Excurate, though, may be making too much noise. Probably being heard by MVP, but he still has position, and he's got a 1 versus 1. Jumping forward, but yeah, maybe a step too far. As the only person on the flank, he does not need to push like that. The only place, I mean, if they know where MVP are, the only place MVP can go is back there or to the underpass. And now, because of that push, MVP have an opportunity to save the AWP, although Zeph made more noise than he needed to, which may give his position away. So who on earth knows what is going to happen, but should he have been in that position in the first place? Perhaps not.
Yeah, and I wonder if we'll see just an A set piece right now, because I think that when you see some drawn-out rounds like this, where a team feels, well, on the next buy round at least, where a team feels like, oh, we can't. It's a struggle to get anything going. It's a struggle to get map control. It's a struggle to get the jewels and so on. A set piece can be like a good confidence booster if you're able to, because you're able to take a site with it. Typically, you can take A, the CTs will often give it up, and try to play retake, and then you can at least play a post plant. And so it might be a comfort round for them to go to. We'll see. Oh, actually, they will buy up. Didn't think they had quite enough, but they do, it seems. And oh, I forgot to read the text.
You did.
Oh,
I read it.
It's
he's won $41,000.
Oh, that's nice.
And he started his career, I think it said 2015. I might be wrong about that one, but at least someone's reading the text.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know if it'll be a set piece on A, but we see everyone sort of huddling around the A pit's position. No one in Palace. And they have a man ready to push underpass. Good pick from AZR as they push in.
They are slowly continuing. Solo is in the flank position once again. AZR with a nice flick there. Maybe he should have had the AWP all along. Looking for a Palace player. Surely a Palace player is eventually coming. Funky position from him. Does he see the player on Tetris? He does. He tags him. Doesn't frag him just yet, but a USP is there, and he will finish him off. It is a wipeout of MVP players here on Mirage, still yet to win a single round on their T side. And I don't think that tells the whole story, because I feel like in a number of rounds they've been in good positions where they just needed to close out and failed to do so.
Yeah, I mean, look at the second round. They got a 3v2 after plant off their force buy. And they had a favorable position there. If they win that round, I doubt TyLoo winning this game. Well, at least it's very much harder to do so. But Azio, that was an amazing passage of play from him on A with the AWP. That was really, there's some inspired plays. It's difficult to work the AWP in chaotic situations where you've got to work a series of different positions and to stay calm and hit your shots, but he managed it really, really well. So it's encouraging to see after, you know, that series that we saw earlier where he struggled against BP to really do much. Execute will take down Zeph, and it's only pistols to worry about. MVP, the struggle is real, but Glow will make it slightly easier with the frag, but he's weak now. Bentet's hungry to finish him off.
Bomb is in spawn. That will handicap the players at some point. Solo falling back, perhaps to go and collect it. Glow will retain the apps area for the time being. 50 seconds, and he says, "Don't shoot me." Azio, does he see the player making his way towards jungle? Ooh, that's a problem. He has position on a number of these CT players. Don't agree, don't peek. You've got a great angle. Let's just force Azio back to CT. And the bomb is being planted for that short position. And TyLoo, they're kind of stuck here. Azio's being picked off towards CT. And you do wonder what the play is now. Oh dear, this was not supposed to happen.
AWP for AWP. Red line collected. But will he have too much with it? The jumping AWP. Oh, hello. Cheeky little no-scope right at the end there. But indeed, that A play was successful in the end. Which is pretty cool because, you know, they were just shut down entirely on an A play. So to win that with just, you know, a terrible buy is encouraging.
More or less an eco round, wasn't it?
Basically, yeah.
And that's the first round they've won.
One of the issues was that Azio, he would have had to have hit a pretty incredible shot, and obviously he let a guy go down the stairs into jungle. But, you know, if you call that, it's fine. But one of his teammates was actually just running into the angle instead of trying to hold it. And so I don't know if the communication was perfect or whether it's just the strength of the CZ, but that's where it started to go wrong.
Somebody has a smoke deep in B-Apps and he will hide behind it, which means he may get aggressive for information, and that might have a part to play in the positions of TyLoo. Indeed it will. You see the rest of the players are focusing on the A bomb site because of somebody's position. They see no lurker towards B, which might be a mistake here for MVP. We'll see how it plays out for them though. DD moving into the shadow position, Bentet CT, and Azio around the jungle area, but he's about to be smoked off. And as you can see, MVP have got somebody boosted, ready to jump into the window, which may not be detected by TyLoo. So this could be, well, again, MVP are in good positions, but can they close this out? That's been a problem for them in the previous rounds.
Yeah, that's an important frag from Bentet. He's looking for the follow-up from Palace. Low moving forwards with shots by Azio. That's going to cost them the round, I think. Those two situations. I don't know if DD can really do this. He's got a FAMAS. One frag, 1v1. Spray's pretty good. Imagine if he got that kill. Somebody finds his way in. Free frag for him. If you get another one, maybe there's a chance, but no, denied. The UMP, not good enough for that job. If he had an M4, maybe it could have worked, but 12 rounds now for MVP as they start to find some success. And things are not looking good for TyLoo here.
I know, but how did it get down to that? There's like the MVP machine doesn't seem to always move together. It seems to be moving one piece at a time, like some rudimentary robot machine. Because with those positions, you would expect a lot more fluidity, I think, in what we just saw there. But it was like this part moves and this part moves. And that might have a part to play. There's still a map to play for here. They're still a round behind. So they need to have smoother executes when they put themselves in advantageous positions. Minizetta looking top mid, not finding a whole lot just yet. Zeph and Glow around the B-Apps, and it seems that the bomb will be collected and rotated towards the A bomb site. Solo looking for a peek. TyLoo know that a player is in Palace. Sign. He did a flashbang for himself around that pillar to his left. So they know there is a lurker at the very least, which isn't all the information in the world. Azio and DD playing very close now. Azio playing anti-flashbang, while DD will hold the angle. Once he starts to engage, Azio will turn around, and he needs the frags of a lifetime here to hold on to this for TyLoo.
Yeah, they have good positioning. DD with the close range spot on the MP9. I like this. Ooh, that's a little bit of a wide swing on the aim there. And maybe a lost opportunity.
You see, they've got these frags on A and starting to move back. They're checking if they're being flanked. Glow's being picked off in B apps, and now they're starting to move out a little bit late. And you think they might have had better positions. Now, there could be a flashbang for CT. Maybe if Sign is able to throw a flash for Solo. He's going to make his way there and see that it's probably clear. All three players for the CT side from around the connector position. Solo fishing, but again, he doesn't know that CT's definitely clear here, so he's got to be scary of it. And there is a player there. Nice flick from him. That leaves Excurate to last to die. And there's a tied score, 13 apiece.
Excurate did a really good job, actually, at just taking attention. It was starting to get a little bit awkward for Solo, honestly. And Bentet was working on the flank, and he survived for so long on the stairs. Pretty cool, but 13-13, and we see money back in the hands of TyLoo. So, and again, we've seen the biggest efficacy for Azio with the AWP, and he's not going to be able to have it. Excurate gets the priority here. No surprises there. Excurate's been fantastic for TyLoo. And we won't see any crazy aggressions or innovative plays from TyLoo, keeping it basic at the moment and awaiting a move from MVP. They're yet to take middle. They're yet to take any deep position in the B apartments. They do have Palace, but it's not really something that TyLoo are concerned with at the moment. MVP now slowly moving into middle. Again, no contestation here at all from TyLoo. They're allowing them to have a lot of the map at the moment.
Who is going to take it? This is a pivotal round for both these teams. So we've got the grenade usage from MVP, whereas TyLoo, it's just some shoulder peeking. Both had success. There was no second player, though, in the ladder room. But maybe Azio can do something about this. Got to be careful, though, for the connector player. He's being waited for as well. Solo shoots him straight in the face. And TyLoo have no answer to these frags so far. Somebody in DD remain, and Solo is still lurking. Still a problem.
Bomb has been planted.
What can you do? Again, I think this is a spot, again, where, you know, you just see that TyLoo they give up mid completely. They allow MVP to just take these 1v1s in a spot where there's no trade potential whatsoever. And they allow MVP to use their utility to set up the frags in the positions that they want to gain more map control. And TyLoo just sitting there passively, just taking it. And that's, I think, not going to work all too well, especially against MVP, who have been pretty on point with their grenade usage at the moment. And so they're making his way into a really good angle there. That's an awkward spot for the player that's playing in the higher position. I think the guy in the higher position has an advantage until the T gets into that sort of position where he's under the wooden boards. But when he's a bit further away in the doorway, it's much easier for the guy that's elevated. And now look at this. TyLoo having to buy UMP Scout, FAMAS, UMPs because they don't want to concede the 15th round with just an eco. Oh, that's a fantastic first shot, though.
Alrighty then, and
Whoa.
there is a lot of action in that short position. What on earth has happened? They've been thrown in the trash compactor like Shredder.
What the hell is
that?
that?
What was that?
Excurate, man, that Scout. He's the headhunter. Oh my god, that was beautiful. That was so clean from Excurate. Just ending lives, ruining dreams, making kids cry, James. He's making infants cry.
Question mark, question mark, question mark. Look what it's done to MVP. Zeph is on a Glock. Oh, no, he's not. He's got an AK. Okay, there we go. I was like, how is that possible? Just literally a Glock. But it is a goodbye for MVP. This round is going to be crushing for someone. TyLoo not afraid to get aggressive. Will they just hold this position? Execrate could be the bait here. Now the smoke has gone, things will change. This is a vulnerable position. I think it would help if Execrate was holding the underpass area. But Bentet's ready for it. Can Zeph do anything about this? Slowly but surely picks off one player. What? What is that? You can't just trade an AK player with a scout like that. But Glow is there. The double play again. This is ridiculous. 2 versus 3. Solo emerging top mid with the bomb. Can sign run distraction?
Can Execrate keep hitting people in the face with a scout? That's the question I'm more interested to see the answer to, because I think that he can. This is a huge issue, though. They do have some utility here. A smoke grenade onto Shine, but this bomb site is difficult with only a couple players. It's very exposed. If TyLoo play it well... Oh dear, that's a lot of footsteps to Bentet. They know exactly what's coming. The rotation's coming in now as well from Execrate, although he's not entirely sure. I don't think that window is safe.
Did he see the dome?
Bentet's got to be careful he doesn't go too quickly here. They can wait for Bentet. He does not have to rush and give away a sound cue, because they will fall back into him. And here he goes, Bentet on the flank. Oh, somebody creating some distraction here. That's the distraction Bentet needs. In from the back, and TyLoo look good for this one now. Oh, that's very depressing, isn't it, to be in that position. Execrate, man. Who is this guy with this scout?
That was rough. Solo was standing top mid with the bomb for ages, which is 2 versus 3. Alone with the bomb in mid is a recipe for disaster. It seemed, I don't know if it was hesitation or uncertainty, maybe going through what information they had as the round progressed. But the timing for that rotation absolutely killed maybe the whole map for MVP. They did plant the bomb, which will allow them some more money. And, ooh, wow, Mini-Zeta is going in. AWP, no Kevlar. He is ready for it. Triple sniper rifle for TyLoo.
Wow.
Execrate somebody and Azio. What are they expecting?
Oh, that's big. Somebody gets absolutely bodied there. Running into the B Palmer's position.
We've spoken about that a lot and why you can't do that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mistake, isn't it?
Maybe he's not expecting the sniper rifle to be there. But even with an AK, you can get those shots if you go a bit wider. And now the problems continue for TyLoo. 3 players remain with 1:20 on the clock for MVP.
They start to creep up into the A-pit position. MVP wanting that A-bomb site. Now, what is there to defend? It's Azio. He's been having a hard time of it today so far, especially against VP. Can this be his redemption? Falling back with the AWP, trying to get Execrate into a position here. Execrate and Bentet, heavy hitters. Nicely done. Execrate finding a gap behind the smoke as it dissipates. Now, things get very awkward for MVP. Someone's got to go into the open and get the bomb. They have no smokes. Execrate waiting for the push from Connector. He's going to smoke himself off to be safe. Very nicely done. TyLoo trying to play this one well.
Speaking of playing it well, Bentet's coming in from the back. The bomb will get planted this time, and Execrate's gone down just at the wrong time. Bentet looking for 2 kills, but with the 180 sign, he's got to go for it, and Zeta at close range will get the kill. Peeking, though, looking for information he found, but where is Zeph? That is the massive question. Zeph, I'm not sure if he's close enough to actually hear the bomb being diffused. It doesn't seem like... Oh, my God. Oh, no, he has no idea! He was too far away!
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Oh, you hate to see it, don't you?
He was too far away to hear the bomb being diffused. I mean, there's a chance that he did hear it and just didn't think he was on it, but I'm not sure he would hear the fuse. Either way, TyLoo steal that last round. That is quite a way to win a first map. Really could have gone either way at the end there, but it will be TyLoo with a narrow victory on Mirage. After the break, we will find out if TyLoo can take it 2-0 or if MVP will enact revenge. See you after the break.
that Benz, ride slow, that's me on the hunt. I'm a jerk, might creep with your girl in the front. Just